everybody, I'm Kim O'Rourke. I'm the recycling coordinator for the city of Middletown, and welcome to Recreation Recycles. Today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite things, and that is feeding the birds. So we have a few different recycling craft projects for building bird feeders. And there's so much to do with this. I just chose a few simple ones that would be fun to do. But first I want to say, do you know that actually there is a study that shows that happiness is linked to the variety of birds that you have in your area? No surprise, because it's really fun to watch the birds. So hopefully you guys can make some of these bird feeders and have some of our feathered friends come and eat some birdseed. You can watch them. It's really fun. So I chose some recyclable materials to make our bird feeders, and I chose a few different kinds. And I stuck with the products that we normally would put in our recycling bin. So one of my favorites, actually my favorite, is the one made out of a milk carton. These are all really simple to do, and you can be as creative as you like. So this one you can paint, you can decorate, you can put little twigs on the top if you like. I like cutting out a hole in the front and two sides. Some people will leave doors, but I think that makes it a little harder for the birds to get in, even if they're half doors. So what I did with this one, I washed it out, took the cap off, cut out the front and the back, so there's a nice hole. I left a little space on the bottom so the birdseed can go in that, and then I cut a little hole down at the bottom and put a twig through so the bird can stand on it. And then at the top, I punched another little hole and put a string through it so we can hang it. Very basic, and again, you can make it as creative as you like, but it is a great bird feeder and it lasts a long time, at least through the season. So that's the milk carton one. And then we have another one made out of a glass jar. Now this one, I put a ribbon around it and I glued it on and tied it, and then glued on a twig on the front so that the birds can perch on it and then eat the food inside of it. Now, glass bottles, actually, if I could make more out of glass bottles, I would, because right now, glass bottles are a little tricky. If you bring your glass bottles back for the redemption, like a glass soda bottle, and you get your 5 cents back, that is a high quality material that gets recycled. But if you put your glass bottles, as you should, in your recycling bin, it actually gets mixed up with everything else, and it'll break into tiny pieces, which is okay. But they're not able, we don't have the technology yet to really separate out those little pieces and turn them into new glass bottles. A lot of our glass is not getting recycled, sadly. It's going for alternate cover for landfills. However, there is a new business in Connecticut. They started in New York, came to Connecticut, and they're making a cement product out of our glass from our material recycling facilities, or our MRFs, which are our processing centers that take our recycling. And so it is getting, hopefully, more and more of it will get recycled that way. But it's always best for glass to keep it separate. So we are looking for other programs to try to keep our glass separated. So if I can, I always save my glass jars and use them for different things, to store stuff in. I can use them as water bottles, or I can use them as bird feeders. Glass is a great thing to reuse. If you go glass, glass can be recycled over and over again. But the trick is that the color has to be separated, and it can't be mixed with paper or plastic or that type of thing. So glass is an interesting material. It has a lot of potential. Hopefully we will do better as time goes on. Another bird feeder I made is out of an egg carton. So an egg carton like this. I cut the This one was a little smaller, but I cut it in half, and then I just punched some holes in the side, put some string through. You could use ribbon, something a little prettier, whatever you like, and then you have a nice, very simple bird feeder like this one. And then the next one I made is out of a bottle and a plastic container, bowl type of thing. I used a black plastic one because that actually is not recyclable at all. Black plastic goes in the trash. But what I did with this one is that I took a screw and a bolt, and I punched a hole in the plastic, and I punched a hole through the cap, and then I screwed it together so it won't come apart, put the bottle back on top, and now I'm going to put bird seed in the bottle. Oh, the other thing I did is I cut little holes in the bottle. So there's little holes at the top of the bottle, which will actually be at the bottom, and then the bird seed can come out that way. And it will go right into the tray, and the birds can eat it. Now, the last one is this one, which is made out of peanut butter and bird seed. And it's super easy. You just take I'm going to demonstrate this one. You take your peanut butter, and actually, take that back. Before I do that, I'm going to poke some holes. So I'm going to poke holes in the top for the string, and then I'm going to poke, let's see if I can do the top, and then I'm going to poke holes in the bottom because I'm going to put a little twig in this one in the bottom so that they have something to stand on. I like to make it as easy as possible for the birds. So little holes on both sides, and then super easy, I am going to put peanut butter on the roll. Kind of fun. You could use other items too, like a pine cone. And I stuck with recyclable items, but you could use something out of nature. Okay, then I'm going to stick it in the birdseed and roll it around. Again, kind of fun. And then we're going to take some twine or string or ribbon, whatever you want to use, and that will go through the top where I punched the holes. I have to move the peanut butter a little bit. Okay, we have that, and then I'm going to take a little branch, which I have here. I have to cut it a little bit. And then that I'm going to stick through the bottom. Find my holes. And there we have a nice bird feeder made out of a toilet paper roll, which we probably have plenty of. So now all my bird feeders I'm going to fill up with seed, and I'm going to put them out to see how the birds like them. So these are great fun projects. If you want more information, we have an informational flyer, which is going to be up on the City of Middletown webpage, and it has the links as to exactly where to find the directions to do each of these bird feeders. And it has some other great links. It has the link to the happiness study that I mentioned, and has a link to a website that has bird sounds, so you can actually click on the bird and hear the sounds that it makes. So just remember, when you make these projects, that after you make them, these items cannot go in the recycling bin. So they would have to, unfortunately, go in the trash. But they do make a good project, and it is important that we help our feathered friends through the winter. So thanks for watching Recreation Recycles this month, and we'll be back next month with another fun recycling project. Don't forget to reduce, reuse, recycle, and rethink your waste.